Welcome to another episode of The Debrief. I'm your host, Summer Hashmi, joined by my co-host,
Sophia Palumbo.
And today's episode is called A Girl's Guide to Being a Superfan.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is, again, one of my favorites this season. I know I said the WAG one was my favorite.
Yeah.
But last episode. But I think this is also another one of my favorites this season.
Yeah, for sure. This one's definitely going to be a more personal one. Summer and I are going to talk about how we got into the teams that we love now, what it means to us to be a fan, how women fit into the space of a sports fandom, stuff like that. So Summer, I'll just start off by asking you, how did you become a Penguins fan?
This one's a really, not a complicated story, but it's a long story. So I was actually born in the States.
Yeah.
I was born in Maryland, so I should be a Washington Capitals fan.
Yeah.
Which is like the enemy. But growing up, like, we never flew to Maryland. Like, my grandparents lived there, a lot of family there. So we used to drive down.
Yeah.
And we'd always pass Pittsburgh, and we'd always stop in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And so we would see the practice, like, the Penguins practice facility.
Mm-hmm.
We would see, like, we'd stop in Grove City and go shopping. So Pittsburgh has always been, like, a city that I've, like, known. And, like, my parents have always said, oh, okay, we're stopping in Pittsburgh. We're going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And so, like, I thought for the first 7 years of my life that I was born in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I did not realize I was born in Maryland.
Right.
Or I thought Maryland was in Pittsburgh. Long story. But somehow my little 6-year-old brain thought I was born in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And so that was always a team that I kind of followed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played hockey. And so then I just it kind of went from there, I guess.
So you have that, like, location tie. Like, I don't want to say that's your hometown, but
she's
in a small way it kind of is.
Yeah. Hometown by association is what I like to call it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then obviously, like, the team is just, like,
Crosby.
Yeah. Like, I know they've won, and that's why they're a good team, but also, like, the years that they haven't won, they've had some good players on the team that have come in and out of that team that I've kind of just loved to follow, and I love the trio, like Malkin, Letang, and Crosby. Like, that is my favorite trio in the entire world.
Yeah.
More than any band or anything in life. Like, that's my favorite trio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
What about you? You were wearing a Winnipeg Jets shirt, so how'd you get into that?
Honestly, mine is really random. I truly have no ties to Winnipeg or Manitoba, and my dad's a Ottawa Senators fan.
Oh,
so you would, like, think, you think I would inherit that, but I haven't. I did not. I was honestly never a super big hockey fan growing up. It's honestly something I got into more recently. And then it honestly just started from checking out YouTube and TikToks and just all the social media for all the teams. And I just really loved the Jets players. Yeah. And I think that, like, I like that they're a smaller market. I like that they're a Canadian team. Sometimes you just have that emotional attachment to things, and it's kind of... There's no real reason for it. It's kind of inexplainable.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
So that's definitely me with this team.
And before people start coming at us for not being Leafs fans, it's not that they suck. It's not that they don't win. We're just not Leafs fans. We
don't hate them, y'all.
Oh, I do. I know I don't hate them, but I'm not a big Leafs fan.
Yeah.
Like, I will go to... Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Before that gets... heated, but
well, I wanted to ask you, what kind of community have you found in the Penguins fandom or any other sports fandom?
Community? Well, okay, it's challenging because I don't live there.
Right.
The closest, like, thing, so I'm also a Chiefs fan.
Yeah.
Before people come at me, Taylor Swift, they won back-to-back, this and that. Again, there's a tie here. Mahomes was a rookie when I did my first rookie season of fantasy football. I picked him up. Been my rookie QB, or my QB in fantasy ever since then. So
she's not a bandwagoner, y'all.
Yeah, so before people come at me, oh, you only support winning teams. I'm a Raptors fan, okay? That says a lot. They've won one championship. So I support some losing teams out there too. But like, the Chiefs community is just, it's interesting because I was on exchange in London.
Yeah.
And the Super Bowl was around, like, obviously it was in February, and I was over there. So, like, I wanted to watch the conference finals.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people from Missouri, weirdly, on exchange.
Yeah.
And so I got to go and watch the conference finals in the Super Bowl with these Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
And it was just really nice to be on the same page because I'm a Penguins fan in Toronto. So when I go watch the Penguins in Toronto, like, everyone's wearing a Leafs jersey.
Yeah, you're the outsider.
Yeah, so when I pull up with my Penguins jersey, my dad's like, girlie, be careful. Don't shoot your mouth off.
Yeah.
But Crosby's also a Canadian icon, so
you get the pass.
It's fine, yeah. But, like, it's different not being in that space.
Yeah.
But, like, in terms of, like, community in general, I feel like the Penguins fans are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Penguin socials do a pretty good job of, like, making people feel connected, even though they're not really there per se. But yeah, what about you? How do you feel how do you feel about the Jets community?
Well, it's kind of tough for me because I don't know very many other Jets fans.
Yeah.
But I feel like the strongest
especially
community,
in Toronto.
Yeah. But I feel like the strongest community that I've found in terms of sports teams is the Italian soccer team.
I believe it. I believe it.
Yeah. My background's Italian. All my grandparents are from there. So I grew up watching every time Italy was in the Euros, World Cup, whatever it was. I watched it every single time. It's definitely a deep attachment just because there's, like, that familial tie to it. Like, it's something that's passed on. But it's also something that's just part of your heritage, and it's definitely a thing of pride seeing them out there and seeing them win. So I definitely, when a game's on, my whole family will get together. We'll all be in our Italia gear. But even still, like, when they won the Euro Cup in 2020, we went out downtown London. I'm from London, Ontario. We went downtown, and all the Italians were out with their flags, blaring Italian music, driving around. People were walking the streets. Like, it was crowded. It was packed.
I believe it.
And people were just cheering, and, like, it was just such a good time. And it was just, I feel like that's definitely the strongest tie that I have to a team and have to a fandom. And I found, obviously, community within just Italians in general, but then of course it gets extended into soccer, which is
huge,
which is the religion. Like, it's taken so serious.
And, like, I know exactly what you mean, because, like, I'm from Pakistan, so, like, cricket's huge there.
Right.
So, like, when the cricket game's on, my dad's buddies come over. They're all wearing their Team Pakistan jerseys. Yeah. And, like, cricket can be on at odd hours because it's usually played on the other side of the world.
Right.
So, like, I remember when it was, like, when the cricket, I don't remember if it was the World Cup or the T20, something was in Australia. And the game was on at 5 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah.
They were here. Like, me and my mom had done, like, a breakfast thing, and so everyone was over.
Yeah.
We were watching the game, like...
Yeah.
And, like, it's tough because cricket's one of those sports that's not really talked about here. So growing up here, and, like, my parents both grew up here. So, like, I didn't really, like, we're not super versed in cricket.
Right.
Versus, like, my dad's friends who are my mom's family, super, like, they know their stuff when it comes to cricket.
Yeah.
So it's just, for me, it's different in that sense because I don't really know the sport. Like, you may know soccer. Right. But I still feel that community. And I may not know anything that's going on.
Yeah.
But I still...
I feel like it hits a bit different when there's, like, that cultural tie.
Yeah.
Or that heritage tie. Because it brings with it that certain sense of...
Pride.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, no, for sure.
100%. Well, as a true fangirl, let me ask, have you ever cried over a win or a loss? Just cried over your team in general?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's multiple times where I've cried.
Yeah.
So during the Olympics, it's tough because born in the States, raised here.
Yeah.
But I'm a Team USA stan.
Girl.
I have all the Team USA merch. Like, especially when it comes to hockey. Like, you will catch me. So when
crazy.
I know. When the golden goal happened, Crosby, and this is Crosby, okay?
Yeah.
I'm a huge Penguins fan.
Yeah.
But when that golden goal happened, I was in tears. I was the only US fan in that room. So my parents had invited all of their friends and family over.
Yeah.
So everyone was in our basement watching this 2010 Olympics final. Okay?
Yeah.
And I was literally sitting on the stairs crying.
Girl.
I was in tears.
Yeah.
Okay? That is probably the most, like, that's probably the biggest moment that I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But then also, so the 2017 Stanley Cup playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
the Penguins always, actually no, not just that one, but they usually always play Washington.
Yeah.
And because I was born in Maryland, my dad's a Washington fan.
Right.
Like, Edmonton's his first team, but Washington's his second team.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a Washington fan. He loves Ovechkin.
Mm-hmm.
So Crosby and Ovechkin always play each other at some point in the playoffs, usually
Right.
round 2. So in 2017, we beat the Capitals and moved on. And the Capitals have never beat us. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
They've never beat us.
Mm-hmm.
2018, that was a 1 year. They beat us in round 2 of the playoffs.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
Yeah.
I was obviously more grown, but I was still very upset. Like, I was trash talking my dad.
Yeah.
Like, me and my dad, we have that relationship where, like, when a sports game is on and we're on 2 opposite sides, and that happens often because he's also a Ravens fan.
Yeah.
Again, because I was born in Maryland. But so he'll be going, like, during the conference finals, even though we were in 2 different continents.
Yeah.
Like, we were still trash talking each other over the phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that whole moment, like, I was so upset.
Right.
To see my team lose in round 2 against
Very
the Capitals
fair.
of all people.
Yeah. Very fair.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I feel like the only time that I've really cried over losses are painful, but like I've only really cried when it was over a win. It was again when Italy won in 2020, technically 2021, the Euro Cup, because that just hit so hard, surrounded by family and friends.
Yeah.
I remember hugging my nonna, which is my grandma, and we just kind of cried because we were both so happy that like the team won. It had been the last time they won something major like that was 2006, the World Cup. So it had been a while. It had been a long time. I was 3 the last time that they won like a major title. So it was just a really special moment. It was a moment that was definitely shared with the family. So I think that's probably definitely one of my favorite just sports moments in general.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you, because we're both women, have you ever felt excluded as a fan, or maybe people doubt your fandom? Like, have you ever got hit with like the name 5 players?
Oh my god,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
And because my teams are actually good, like it's actually so annoying because they're like, well, why are you a Pittsburgh fan? You should be a Toronto fan. I'm sorry. Is there a rule that states that because I live in Toronto, I have to be a Toronto fan?
Yeah.
Like, what happens if I move from this city? Do I still have to be a Toronto fan?
Yeah.
Or am I now supposed to be a Boston fan?
Yeah.
Like, get over yourself, first of all. But, like, I'm sorry. I played this sport my entire life. I know more than 5 players on this team.
She's a hockey girl.
Yeah, like when the Penguins are on, this whole fit plus my lucky socks go on.
Yeah.
Like, this is the norm.
Yeah.
And, like, during, especially during during regular season, I'm a little bit more lax.
Right.
Playoffs come, my dad's not allowed to be in the room. He's not allowed to be in the room watching the game with me. He's bad luck to my team. Like, I take that shit so seriously.
Yeah.
It's craziness. And my mom gets so mad because I'll be, like, standing, almost like I should be on the bench.
Yeah.
So I'll be, like, standing on the stuff, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I start getting a little crazy. So when people hit me with that, I'm also a big Swiftie.
Right.
But I was a Chiefs fan before Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were a thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I hate when I have to hear, oh, like, are you a Chiefs fan because you're a Chiefs fan, or are you a Chiefs fan because Taylor Swift? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Is it wrong to be fans of both, and it just being a coincidence?
Yeah.
Is it a coincidence that my team got good at the right time? Like, how am I supposed to, like,
right?
Who am I supposed to cheer for? The best is, oh, like, you're a Chiefs fan because they're winning right now.
Yeah.
That's why. When they start losing, you won't be a Chiefs fan no more.
Yeah.
Who are you to tell me? Who are you to tell me which team to cheer for? The other thing is, I'm sorry, we don't live in the States.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have any ties to any NFL team.
Right.
So we can cheer for whoever we want.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, I think you follow the Cowboys, right? Because of your dad?
Yeah, my dad's a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, that's in Texas. We're nowhere near that.
Yes,
So,
never
like,
been to Dallas.
Yeah,
Yep.
so, like, leave us alone.
Yeah.
And I think because we're women, it's like, oh, like, they probably don't know much about sports.
Yeah, it's automatically kind of assumed.
Especially football.
Yeah.
Especially, like, hockey, it's a little bit better now.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, oh, like, you watch hockey or you, like, I hear that often enough.
Yeah.
And so it's like, okay, chill. Like, it's not that deep for a girl to be watching hockey.
Yeah.
And not be a Leafs fan. Like, calm down. Calm down.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I feel like I can't remember a specific time when I got hit with something like name 5 players, but I feel like it's something that's like doubted. It'll be like, oh, like how much are you a fan, like though, like really though?
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah.
I shouldn't have to prove myself to you.
Yeah.
How much I love or care about
Exactly.
something. I just feel like it's something that's automatically doubted, and it's it's hard to take it when I say that. I feel like it's hard for people to take it like seriously.
And then if you're a super fan of a women's team,
Mm-hmm.
then you're also like, okay, like, oh, she's just a fan of a woman. Like, it's like kind of overlooked too.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, she's just cheering for them because they're women.
Yeah, like, it's not like, I don't know, like, it's not seen the same way.
Right.
Like, I guarantee you, the Scepters are coming out.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same as the Leafs. Like, the way people
the
go...
passion for that team?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Even the way the like, have you... I don't know if you... Like, my cousins are Rangers fans. Like, die-hard Rangers fans. Okay?
Cousins in Canada or in the States?
No, in the States.
Okay, yeah.
They're all from New Jersey, but they're Rangers fans because of my uncle. Long story again.
Yeah.
They should be Devils fans. They're not. We'll get over that.
Yeah.
But it's like they're diehard Rangers fans.
Yeah.
And they don't show that same support to the women's teams, right? And so like even like speaking of New York, like the Liberty just won the WNBA 2024 championship.
Right.
Nobody was there for their parade. Like the streets were empty.
Yeah.
It was just their buses. Like that's embarrassing.
Yeah.
Not for the team, for the city.
Yeah.
Like, show up.
Yeah. 100%. I feel like it's tough because people have there's just so much more history. I'm not trying to make excuses for it, but
I
like
agree.
There's just so much more history and I think deeper emotional attachment to like the Knicks.
Yeah.
Compared to the Liberty. It's something that's I feel like it's gonna take time but it's been time. Like this has been going on since the 90s.
Yeah. That's
so,
why
like,
I'm saying. Like it's because I feel like fandoms have always existed, but I feel like over the years they've gotten like bigger and bigger and bigger because of like, for example, I feel like Leafs fans specifically, like it's a lot of like, oh, like my dad was a Leafs fan, his dad was a Leafs fan, his dad's dad was a Leafs fan. That's why I'm a Leafs fan. We're all Leafs fans.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't know about your house, but in my house, we all cheer for different teams. My dad was born in Edmonton. He cheers for the Oilers. My mom was from Montreal. She cheers for the Habs. I claim I'm from Pittsburgh. I cheer for the Penguins.
Yeah.
My sister's a Bruins fan.
Yeah.
Because she likes the goalies there.
Yeah.
So like everyone in my house, we don't really have a tie to. My mom says she's a Leafs fan. She's a fake Leafs fan.
Yeah.
But like there's like nobody really has a tie to this. Like kind of like you were talking about, like with the whole being like generational Italia fans.
Yeah.
Right. So like there's no that element doesn't exist, and I think maybe that's why the women's teams are not there yet.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like your city should still show up for you.
100%.
Like that's just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like there should be more people, or make the parade smaller so that the people.
It looks more busy.
Yeah. Like that just sucks for these players who just worked their butts off all season.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, when was the last time the Knicks won? Let's be so for real.
Yeah.
Like some of these women's
New
teams,
York should be desperate for any win.
Right? Right? When was the last time the Rangers won?
Yeah.
Like this is just embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like I remember when the Raptors are a little different, but like when they won, the streets were packed.
Oh, girl, yeah.
Chiefs win, the streets are packed. The Aces, it was not bad because in Vegas they don't have many sports teams to begin with.
Right.
It's the Aces, the Raiders, and
the Golden Knights.
The Golden Knights. I don't think there's a basketball team there, the men's basketball.
No.
So when the Aces won, it was a big deal. Vegas was out there supporting their women.
Yeah.
Because there's just not as many professional teams, so it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But, like, I'm sorry. If your city hasn't won in a while in any sport, get out there and support your teams that are winning and performing.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was a little bit off topic, I guess.
Yeah, but it's kind of like if women don't show up to support women's teams, then who's going to be there to show up? Like, if we don't make those first steps to...
Yeah, we got to do better.
Yeah,
we do better.
We were even pointing this out, Summer and I. Like, we're both wearing jerseys for men's teams. Like, even us ourselves, we have to get better at supporting...
For us, it's a little tough just because, not that I'm making excuses for us, but in Toronto, like, they're just starting to come out.
Yeah.
Like, I ordered my Scepters jersey. It's coming in. Yeah. It's coming in. This didn't come in time for the podcast, but it's coming in. And then when the WNBA team comes out, I will be buying their merch and their jersey.
Yeah.
Just because I want to support. When WNBA came for the Lynx, oh my God, who did they play? I think it was the Lynx Dream. Or, no, the Chicago Sky, sorry. So Chicago Sky versus the Lynx. So I bought the WNBA merch when they came. So I have my little tote bag and I have a sweatshirt.
Yeah.
It's just back home. But yeah, like when they do come out with stuff, I will be purchasing stuff for them because I think it's just 100% important to support and watch. Just like how I want to go to more PWHL games. Like, we are so fortunate enough to have a team in our city. And for us especially, the MAC was their home arena. And we go to school at, like, that's where we have some of our classes. Yeah. And we live right by the
like, if we're not taking advantage of it, like,
then who will?
Yeah.
And it's not like the tickets are super expensive either.
Right.
They're relative compared to the Leafs tickets.
Yeah.
They're relative, and it's still really good hockey. Like, these are Olympians that are playing out there.
Yeah.
Like, Nat Spooner's on our team. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And even, like, I don't know about you, but I'm on the wait list for WNBA season tickets. So they dropped that. So as soon as we get more information, I will be buying season tickets for the WNBA team. Right. I didn't get my act together in time for the Toronto Scepters, but I did for the WNBA.
Yeah.
So, like, I think that I am equally invested in both parties.
Yeah.
There is no women's hockey team in Pittsburgh, so I don't have an emotional connection. And I don't really have an emotional connection to any of the Toronto teams.
It's been too soon. Like, for the Scepters.
Not even just the Scepters, just in general. Like, I'm not a Jays girly.
Yeah.
And the Raptors, like, I don't follow basketball enough to, like, be a full hardcore Raptors fan. Like, I like Jason Tatum. That's why I watch the Celtics.
Yeah.
And I like that team.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch them play. I can't really consider myself a Celtics fan. I don't know enough about them, but, like, I don't really care about the Raptors like that. So, like, I don't really have a connection to the Toronto teams.
Yeah. I definitely have a connection to the Raptors. They'll always be my favorite basketball team, but...
Yeah.
But if you have those other connections, then, like, it's hard to... I feel like you have a stronger tie to Boston than you do.
Oh, well, that's my dream city. I'd love to move there.
Yeah.
I'd love to
so it makes sense that that's a team that you support.
But even, like, my mom's a Bulls fan. Like, she's a Raptors fan first, but because of Michael Jordan, she's a Bulls fan. Because she started watching basketball in the 90s.
Yeah.
When the Bulls were hot. So she was a Bulls fan for a bit. And, like, so for me, like, that's my connection, I guess, to the Bulls. And so, like, my grandfather's a Bulls fan, too. So it's just, like, in terms of basketball, I guess that's the team that I kind of follow, not really.
Yeah.
But, again, like, there's not really an emotional tie to the Toronto teams enough for me to be like that.
Fair. I kind of also wanted to ask or bring up, doing some research for this episode, I found a study that concluded that in an effort to fit in and become one of the lads as a sports fan, women sometimes accept male definitions of women and femininity and female sports fans as trivial, worthless, or laughable. And this basically just means pick-me girls. It means trying too hard to be, like, one of the guys, trying to be like, no, I'm not like the other girls, like, I like sports, like, that kind of thing.
You know what, though? And this might sound controversial, but I don't blame these pick-me girls sometimes. Like, sometimes they're annoying, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Because guys have made it, not guys, but society has made it so that women who like sports are the other. Like, we talk about women being othered. This is a situation where women are othered.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, in order to like, be considered a sports fan, you constantly have to prove yourself, and that comes off as pick me.
Right.
And that's not fair to them.
Right,
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fair to them that they're getting counted as this, but at the same time...
They're kind of being set up to be that way.
Yeah.
Because then, without being that way, then you're
without
just
being one of the boys, you're not considered knowledgeable about any sport.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I don't know about you, but I'm not one of the boys.
Yeah.
I don't call myself one of the boys.
Yeah, me
but
neither.
I was the only girl in fantasy football for a long time. I was one of the only girls who did this or did that or liked hockey. Like, in school, I don't think I knew many girls that played hockey or liked hockey.
Yeah.
Like I do.
Yeah.
So, like, again, like, I would be considered a tomboy or a pick-me or whatever you want to call it. I just think it's not fair to be labeled like that if you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what it does feel that way. Because then when sports is hyper-feminized, then it kind of gets demonized, which we saw with the WAGs.
Yeah.
Like...
And then it's like the other half of it is like, okay, well, first of all, who told you that you're the expert in this?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you don't play professional.
Yeah.
So who are you to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about? I'm sorry, are you an analyst on Sportsnet? No.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
You're a fan just the same way
Exactly.
I am. Yeah.
And just because I'm a girl doesn't mean that I'm less of a fan.
Yeah.
Just because society said that I'm not supposed to play sports or like sports or know about sports doesn't mean that I actually do. I'm sorry, wake up, guys. We're in 2024.
Yeah.
Where sports fans are every gender.
Yeah.
Let's be so for real.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's like, I don't know. Hearing stuff like that gets me so annoyed. Because it's like, who made these rules? Who made these rules that you can do this, you can't do that, you're allowed to watch this, you're not allowed to do that? I'm sorry. That means if you watch dramas, in the sense that you watch, like, TV shows, then you're considered girly. Mm-hmm. Nobody, if a guy's watching, like, any TV show, they're not considered to be...
They might get made fun of a bit, but they don't have to...
Nobody's questioning them. Nobody's like, name 5 characters in the show. Or tell me what happened season 6, episode 5. What was the name of this episode? Like, nobody's quizzing them on it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, and like, I don't know about you, but like when I'm talking about sports and I'm talking to it with a guy, I sometimes feel more intimidated. Because then I'm like second guessing what I know. And what like, because the other half of it is like women, when we watch sports, some women, okay, this is more of a generalization, but some women do look at stats and facts, but I don't.
Yeah. I
don't know about you, but I don't follow it like that.
Yeah.
I don't follow sports like that. I follow sports for the stories. In the sense that I will look at it, okay, I'll look at all the other factors, like the game day story. I'll look at and that's kind of why I like sideline reporting versus color commentary and play-by-play, because sideline, you're telling the story within the game.
Right.
Whereas play-by-play, it's like, okay, this is the play.
Yeah.
Color, these are the stats that support the play.
Yeah.
Or this is a little bit of the story that supports. Sideline is pure story. You're talking about the penalty kill. You're talking about the power play. Right. Talking about the different rivalries, right? So, like, I think there's a lot more to sports and sport stats and facts, and the guys are so stats and facts driven that it's like they overlook that stuff, and that's the stuff that I know about.
Right.
Right? Like, I know who's traded to which team.
Yeah.
I might not know how many goals or assists they have, but I know what's going on and what they did.
Yeah.
Or if this person got suspended, why?
Yeah.
So, like, being a sports fan is not... There's not one way to be a sports fan.
Yeah.
There's many ways.
I agree. Well, let's throw it to Alex doing our Chick Chat remote to see what some of our viewers have to say.
You go talk to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me.
Thanks, guys. I'm here at TMU asking students about their favorite sports fandoms. What is your favorite sports team?
Maple Leafs, go Leafs, go, baby.
The LA Kings.
Vancouver Canucks.
What do you think of their fans?
Leafs fans, honestly, I feel like most of them are pretty delusional,
I think they're very passionate. It's very exciting.
but also just like depressed
I think their fans are very passionate.
because we keep losing every year.
Everybody's super excited. It brings the community together.
But, with that being said, we're winning it all this year anyway.
And if you could get rid of any sports fandom, what would you pick?
I would get rid of the New York Yankees. I know it's two different sports, but I can't stand Yankee fans at all.
Say the Cubs. They're obnoxious.
I probably would have said Leafs before, but I went to a Leafs game last week, and I had some really good interactions with people. They destroyed my Seattle Kraken, but everyone was really nice. So I'd probably say Montreal. Their fans are really annoying on Twitter, and they're always way overhyping their players. At least the Leafs are good when they do that, but the Habs suck and they keep overhyping their prospects. So it's just annoying.
Awesome, thank you. I guess we know what type of sports fans we have here in Toronto. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alex. Those are some pretty interesting fandoms. I guess this takes us to Hype Queen of the Week.
I'll go first
Okay.
on this one. She doesn't really have that strong of a tie maybe to this week's theme, but I wanted to go with Iona Marr. She has blown up recently due to being on Dancing with the Stars. I know
Yes.
she's super popular on TikTok, social media. So, and I watched her episode recently. She was on this celebrity talk show called Royal Court with Brittany Broski, and I love her on that. So
Such a funny character.
she's
I
just
love
so
her.
funny. She's just so relatable and so real. She always stands up for what she believes in. She's all about body positivity and feeling good about yourself. She was somebody that I really wanted to highlight. And I guess she does tie into fandom because she's curating a fandom for herself. And I feel like she's brought a lot of attention to women's rugby, especially. For everybody that doesn't know, she was on they won a bronze medal at the recent Paris 2024 Olympics.
Right,
Rugby
right.
sevens. So I feel like she's brought a lot of light to that, a lot of fandom to that. So yeah, she's my Hype Queen of the Week.
I guess that brings us to my Hype Queen of the Week.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Sarah Nurse.
Yeah.
I love her. I think she's done a really good job of bringing awareness to women's hockey.
Mm-hmm.
She was actually on the NHL 23 cover for the video game, and she was the first female to actually be featured
Right.
on the video game cover,
Yeah.
which was crazy. And I find she's just done a really good job of bringing awareness about Team Canada, women's hockey, and the Scepters. Her and Spooner have been, I feel like, the face of the Scepters, in my opinion.
No, yeah, that's fair.
They've done,
yeah.
and Emily Maltese, but Sarah Nurse has just done a really great job of bringing awareness to the team and to the Scepters fandom.
Yeah.
She's active on social media, so I've been seeing a lot of her. And then obviously she's related to all these different people across the professional sports realms. With oh my goodness, Kia Nurse, and then her cousin plays for the Oilers. So she's pretty. The nurses are pretty well.
Yeah.
They're there in the
Yeah.
different realms.
Big hockey fan.
Yeah.
Fam.
But I think she's just a good person to be the face of the Scepters. So
Yeah, I 100% see that for sure. Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
This kind of concludes it. Make sure to check us out on our socials and our
Yes.
website. Leave any comments. We'd love to know what teams y'all love, how you guys got into
them, yeah.
Yeah, so please let us know below.
And we will catch you guys next week.
Yep.
Bye.